Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I hope you are well. I need to work out my ergonomics. Welcome back to my little cottage garden by the sea on this gloriously sunny day again today. We might have light shade issues. Yes, I'm still pinching myself every day. As in, yes, this is where I live. Right, so that's a very, very plump, healthy looking wood pigeon. I am going to do a bit of pricking out of lettuces. I made the mistake of watering these last night. I say mistake because if they were really dry, they'd come out much more easily. Now, I don't have any space in the garden for them. I've got one or two more of the black bags, but they take so much compost to fill. I don't really want to be buying more compost. So I'm actually going to put them back into these modules. So there's 15 in one of these trays. So they'll get a module each, and then the plan will be hopefully they'll grow on, and then as I harvest, I'll harvest alternate ones, so the ones that are still in, got a bit more space to grow. So I was just getting my bits and bobs ready to do this, and I've got a teaspoon. Oh, it's one of the ones I got for 10p. Actually, it worked out at less than 10p, didn't it? It's the one with the little boxing hair on the bottom. Can you see that? Adorable. So I've got a teaspoon, and I've got an old pencil. It could be the end of a bit of broken bamboo, who cares? That's for making a bit of a hole. Oh, I didn't riddle this compost, so there might be some slightly lumpy bits in it, never mind. But as I was getting my bits and pieces ready, now I'll come back to bits and pieces. So I've got 5 healthy looking plants in there, little teeny tiny seeds. This is a variety called Arctic King. I've got 4 different varieties in total, and I was literally just using up packets from my old box, so my old seed tin. So if some of them didn't germinate, I was just like, oh, just chuck them in. So I'm just gently going to tease that little bit off with as much root as I possibly can. Let me try and show you. So a nice chunk of root. I actually might need my teaspoon to make up. There's a really big lump in there. Make a hole. And just drop it gently in, and then gently firm the compost down. Yeah, I was thinking about equipment, and well, you all know I'm super frugal, and really you can do quite a lot of gardening without having to spend much money. So for instance, teaspoon and old pencil or stick for doing my pricking out, dibbing, what have you. I have seen, you know, in shops, gifty type shops, whatever, gardening catalogues, you can buy little dibbing sets. I don't know, maybe a tenner. But the point is, you don't have to spend any money to be able to do that particular task. You've probably got things indoors. Now, say the modules, these module trays, I've got the modules come like this, and then I've just got it in a gravel tray underneath. The gravel tray is like a seed tray, it just doesn't have any holes because we're still really hot and dry here. So I'm putting it in the gravel tray so that any water that goes through the compost gets caught in the gravel tray and can wick back up into the compost. If we were having lots and lots of rain every day, I'd put them on the seed trays so excess rain, moisture can just run out of the bottom. So yeah, the module trays, they were quite expensive. They were an investment. I think, if I remember correctly, because it's a few years ago now, they were about £5 each, which is quite expensive compared with ones I've previously used, but the previous ones are such flimsy plastic. And when you're trying to get, you know, you're basically growing on a plug plant with these, and when you're trying to pop it out, a bean, a squash, whatever, to then plant it into the garden, the whole thing just disintegrates. Really sort of brittle, fragile plastic, and within a couple of seasons, done in. So yes, you could probably buy 10 of those flimsy ones for the price of one of these, but you're quite possibly going to be replacing them every couple of years or so. Whereas these, they should last my gardening life, I hope. So I'm a bit of a mix of either spend nothing or spend quite a lot and spend well. Spend well and spend once. So in terms of other gardening equipment, my what I use is a trowel, which is my Hori knife. You've seen before. Great tool. Let me just, it's just there. I'll grab and show. My legs will be funny now because I've been sat for a minute. Oh, blah. My Hori knife, and I should say this was a gift. This was a gift from Jackie. Thank you so much. The proper Hori knives, so it's a Japanese knife, so you can use it as a trowel getting in, but it's got a really sharp point and then sharp edges, which was particularly great for my rock hard clay soil in London. Once that bakes in the sun, it's like doing archaeology, honestly, to make a hole. So because it's got this great point, you can get in a hole. They're about £35. Likewise, and these need a clean and a sharpen Felco secateurs. Again, you're a very noisy wood pigeon. Why don't you come down here and say hello to everyone, instead of just being noises off? There's not really a wood pigeon there. It's like... Who is that viewer who suggested this is all fake? I've got, in a nice way, he's joking, but I've got a pull down screen which shows the view of the bay, and with my foot I'm operating sound effects of seagulls and the toot toot the train and the tingle tingle of the bells at St Mary's. £35. So yes, they're expensive, but again, they are things that should last a lifetime of gardening. And you know, if you think, if you get so loud. If you're starting gardening when you're, 20 or so, and hopefully you'll be gardening till you're 90, that might be 70 years. So they work out at what, 50 pence a year for my gardening life. And of course, when I say buy once and buy well, buying expensive stuff doesn't always equate to good quality. However, with something like the Felcos, all the parts you can get spares for. I've already replaced, I can't remember which bit I replaced, I think it was the brake there. They come apart completely for cleaning and maintenance. That helps them to last longer. If you never look after them, they're not going to last. But I could, if I wanted, I could send the whole set back to Felco and they would recondition the whole thing for me and send it back. But yeah, I suppose the point I'm trying to make is, when you're at the garden centre, it's very easy, isn't it, it's like with food, when your eyes are bigger than your stomach, when your gardening eyes are bigger than your wallet, especially when you're just starting out. I would say things like the Hori knife, the Felcos, and a good garden fork. Everything else, the modules are brilliant, but if you didn't have a fiver to buy one of these, and I didn't get all of mine in one go, I think I bought 4 of the large ones one season, and then the next season I bought a couple more large ones and a couple of the smaller ones. If I'd stayed at the allotment, I might in the 3rd season have bought more. I don't need more here, small garden. But if you haven't got 35 quid, if you haven't got £5 for one of these sets of modules, of course, and I think gardeners are so resourceful like this, of course you use things like yoghurt pots, margarine tubs, ice cream tubs, whatever it is. I think us gardeners are very good at upcycling, or not necessarily upcycling, but reusing what we've got now. this is a little tricky bunch. So yeah, before you rush out to buy something, and this is, I mean, it's true indoors as well, I do this indoors, is if you've got a job that needs doing, before you rush out and buy a specific tool for the job, just ask yourself, have I got something else indoors that will suffice? Especially if it's a job you're only going to do once. Of course, if it's a job you're only going to do once, then you could also think about hiring tools. You might have a, as I had back in London, I'm not sure if there's one here, but you have these, mine in London was called Library of Things. So in your area you might have a library of things where you can borrow tools. And of course there are commercial ones too, like I think there's that HSS coming. There's all sorts of professionals you can go to hire. So yeah, you don't have to spend a fortune. And certainly with things like, as I was mentioning the other day, seed saving and propagating, a little challenge for everybody would be, apart from compost and some seeds at the beginning of each season, see if you can go 1 year without going to a gardening centre. See if you can do all the things you want to do without spending money. Apart from the compost, that's an allowable every year. Right, well I will get on with these, and then there's a few other little jobs to be getting on with today, because I think it's been a week and a bit since I've had, when I had that pottering day. It's actually more like it's probably 2 weeks since I've had any sort of real time in the garden, because of course I had Richard and Paul over to stay, which was wonderful. Didn't do anything in the garden the whole time they were here. So yeah, a few jobs to catch up on today, including tomato cares. As I was saying in that tomato cares video, that I know I need to do the aspirin spray again, because Wimbledon has finished. That was my little cue and clue. Lots of those didn't do so well. What's that? Oh, there's one romaine. Shall I let the romaine remain in its thing? Otherwise, yes, I'll continue. And I've got one little gem, but I can certainly, squawking rages, I can certainly fill this tray with Arctic King. Arctic. It's so not Arctic today. Yay! It's just a sound effect. Nothing to see. There are no gulls there. Just one last note before I finish doing these little ones. I don't think it's always easy to see on camera, but they're still quite little. When I'm handling them, I'm sort of a gentle grabbing, you know, the grabbing machines at the fun fair, a little gentle grabbing movement underneath rather than holding the stem, because that stem is really delicate still and I don't want to bruise it. So yeah, a grabbing machine, trying to hold it sort of by the soil really. So yeah, like that, rather than, I'll show you on this one because I'm going to discard it, rather than like that around its stem. Don't want to hurt them. Right, I'll crack on. Actually, it's nearly lunchtime. Thinking about food. I'm always thinking about food. Let's get my holes ready. all these transplants done, great, and I've just, for now, I've put them in the shade. I mentioned this previously, that kind of transplanting, it's a bit of a shock. So rather than giving them 2 shocks today, which would be transplanting and then sitting in this baking sun, they just fry. So let them have a couple of days in the shadier part of the garden and get established. They'll be fine. Now, in here, I did have fennel. 4. It's all been munched. It's disappeared. I still have 4 or 5 in the border, in the sunny bed, and then I've got another 4 in the black felt bag, which are doing fine. And I had been thinking, right, what to put in here then, when Richard and Paul turned up. Paul bearing plants, so I've got the mint. Oh, and just to say as well, I have been keeping an eye out for plates, saucers. I'll show you this close, don't drop it. It might be too bright for you to see the colours, that's getting shade. For different plates and saucers to act as water, a bit of water catchment. Lovely, it's so pretty, little silver, it's so faded, but it's cute with a little green band around the edge. Oh, I almost want to keep that for my sandwiches. So yes, to help capture a bit of water, although it won't catch much water because it's quite shallow. But the main thing is with this plant, because it's mint, it's also to stop the roots coming out of the bottom and getting into the patio, and then that's it. I'll have nothing but mint in my garden. So it's slightly matted, the roots underneath. It's high time to get it planted up. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, that's more than... sun's an issue today, isn't it? I can never tell quite how much. You can see if I put it into shade. You can see, hopefully, that mass of roots. It's dying to get going. I don't think I can even tease them out at all. They'll find their way out. It's mint. So, get that popped in. And like I was saying, I think this is a lovely one because of that sort of burgundy purple stem. Now, also, I'm going to quickly give it a snip. I'm going to come right down to here to a leaf node where there are already 2 little leaves wanting to come. That's going to go in the teapot. Actually, yes, definitely, because it was about to flower. You see on the end, it's just about to flower. Don't want it to yet. And then probably take all of them down a little bit. I want to encourage side shoots. I want to encourage bushiness. You can come down one more. So that's all going to go indoors to make a cup of tea. But I think that's rather a pretty one, having that burgundy stem. And oh, perfect, fits on the plate. Right, next job. This sweet little rambling rose that Richard and Paul brought with them at the end of May. It's a cutting that was originally in their back garden at home in London. Just getting some bits of string ready. The fence it was up against was a neighbour's fence and it was being demolished, so clever Paul, I think it was Paul, grabbed a load of cuttings. I had one at the allotment in London and they've brought this one down, so it's been potted up now for about 6 weeks. And look how much it's grown, so it was just pretty much to there. One rung on the trellis, and now it's the equivalent of, well, pretty much 2. So I'm just looking at the way it wants to go. Let's encourage it the way it wants to go. So this piece, I think what I'm going to do is concentrate this piece to the edge of the trellis. And then that longer piece, oh, I've forgotten, it's a really, really prickly one. I think it's a type of damask rose. Damask. It's highly scented. It's got really lovely scent. It's very, it's just a very old-fashioned rose smell, a sort of soapy, rosy smell. And then this piece, I want to start encouraging it, oh, prickle, across and up. Let me bring you here. I'm going to warm handle you a second, and then I'm going to tip you up a little bit so you can see where I'm going. And then, so I've got 1, 2, sort of 3, oh no, 4 sort of leading stems. So the other 2, I'm going to encourage across the bottom more before I let them go up. But yeah, if I bring this one to here, so this one's got 1, 2 bits of trellis to go up. This one can go up 3, 4, and I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there's 9 bits in total, but I think, oh, dried bird poo. Because obviously it's going to have some side shoots as well. Yeah. Let's get you trained a little bit, my beauty. And then there'll come a point when it's such a mass and it's so prickly, I can no longer train it. All I can do is prune excess. These 2 aren't quite long enough yet to do anything with, but I might just tuck that one behind, just encouraging it that way a little bit. Good, I'm happy with, honestly, I'm happy with everything, just being happy. Now it's time for tomato cares again. So the last, when you saw them in that, oh, I haven't said, have I? Sorry, it's bent at a really awkward angle. Let me bring it around a bit. That's better. It's the 18th of July today. So what I'm going to do is, when you saw me doing those tomato cares in the video, that was June the 30th. In the meantime, I have once done some more, or is it twice now, I've done some more tying in and just side shooting, pinching out. Today, I mean, they're so tall, so I'm going to go and get on with that. Oh, lovely a red admiral butterfly. Hang on. It's closed its wings and made itself invisible, but it's right. The camera's going to go out of focus, but I just want to show you where it is. That's where it is. Can you see the brown in the middle? Let me pull back, and hopefully, please, little red admiral, please open your wings and show us how pretty your colours are. You're not going to, are you? Never work with children and animals. Please show us. Give us a flash. Go on. I'm going to just wait patiently. You're thinking, all we can see, Vivi, is a ton of leaves. Let me take you in again to where it is. You see, oh, it's just starting to move a little. Oh, let me come out. Oh, there we go. A flash of, oh. So the camera could, oh, and away. And away. And now, on the bottom of that verbena. Go on, give us a flash. Oh, it's a tricky angle. Hang on. Oh, I'm going to leave it alone. Let it have its day. Right. Tomato cares, Vivi. Wow. They went for it. Hot, but always with a lovely breeze. Oh. Oh. It's a reach. Oh. My back. Let's bring you this way. Happy days. Happy, happy days. Not a bad job to be doing on one's lunch break, is it? Even if it means I'm only going to have 5 minutes to gobble some lunch down. Click her.
Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's getting hotter by the minute, as you can probably tell from my cheeks. But always this gorgeous cool breeze. Just take my pinny off. I just wear my pinny, well, tomato case. It's mainly so that I've got a pocket for my secateurs for any suckers which are massive that I've missed, that are too big for pinching. Yay, tomato fingers. But also for keeping my string and my scissors in, save me bending right to the floor every time. Anyway, yes, it's a beautiful day. It's getting hotter by the minute. Some of the plants are looking a little bit wilty. I'm going to give them a quick bit of a drink, very direct, under their leaves. Then a proper little water later. Big water. Thank goodness for that breeze. The sea is turquoise again today. Oh, I love summer. Aren't we lucky? Having these beautiful summers. Well, you know, in the UK, not every day is like this. So when they are like this, make the most of it. Right, this was just supposed to be a quickie on my lunch break today. I need a proper full session, full day out here, but full days are reserved for weekends, probably this Sunday. Because with the ribs, I am now just a few days away from being 6 weeks, so I can start the grunty stuff again. I think though for today we'll leave it there. What I might do is later when it's cooled down a bit, I'm going to go in now and work. When it's cooled down a bit, come back out and I'll do a mid-July tour, bring you up to speed, because things are really jumping on a pace since you saw it at the end of June. So we'll have a mid-July tour and then we'll have a beginning of August tour, because I've just, every day I notice something and I think, wow, you've gone crazy. We'll do that. For today's video though, I think it's time to just sit back and enjoy the breeze. It's time for me to go. See you very soon for the next one. Until then, happy gardening, happy shady, breezy spots to enjoy when it gets too hot in the full sun. Until the next one, cheerio.